Welcome to the program Health and Beyond Health. Here we have up-close interviews with professionals in the health sector and other sectors beyond health on topical issues. Be part and gain from this valuable experience. Let's get started. Hello there, good morning, and welcome to your favorite program, Health and Beyond Health, once again on CBC Radio. This is a production of the CBC Health Services Communication Unit. For production and presentation, my name is Clementina Njangyong. And today we are with some nurses in the studio, as we can see. And they are celebrating the International Nurses Day today, and that is why we have them in the studio. I would like to take this opportunity to have the first two introduce themselves. Good morning.
Morning, I'm Young Blessing. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm Dong Etheldred from the Baptist Hospital in Mutengene.
Yes, so we have Young Blessing from Queen Baptist Hospital and Dong Etheldreda from Baptist Hospital, Mutengene. They are both nurses and they are celebrating the International Nurses Day today. So for those who are listening to us and they don't know what the International Nurses Day is all about, can you briefly situate them and tell them why this day is celebrated and what it is all about?
Okay, thank you for that question. Good morning, everyone. The International Nurses Day, it has not started today, but this began right in the days of Florence Nightingale because they saw the sacrifices, the dedication that nurses were making to the public, especially what Florence Nightingale did during the Crimean War, and countries and organizations saw a reason to celebrate nurses. Initially, this day was celebrated around October, from October 11 to October 16. But later, when the International Nurses Council they saw that we are commemorating this day, and the founder of modern day nursing, who is Florence Nightingale, was born on the 12th of May. And so they decided to bring it to take from the 5th of May, or from the 6th of May to the 12th of May, to celebrate nurses for all what they do for humankind. And from then, the day has been commemorated on the 12th of May.
Thank you very much. Celebrating what the nurses do. Now, tell us what the nurses do at Eldreda on a daily basis. Who is a nurse and what are the activities of a nurse?
A nurse is a trained individual who has been empowered in the sciences, in the science of nursing, in the art of nursing, to take care of people from birth through life and to even assist them to a peaceful death. On a day-to-day basis, nurses assist people in what they are not able to do. What they don't have the knowledge about, the nurses will help them to give them the knowledge. When they don't have the will, the nurse becomes their will. When they have the knowledge, the will, but they don't have the strength, the nurses are there. Nursing activities are very simple activities that make a difference. If the client cannot clean their mouth, a nurse is there to clean their mouth. If they cannot bathe and put on their clothing, a nurse is there to do that for them. They cannot breathe well, the nurse is there to either suction and clear the airways or administer them all the oxygen that they need. The nursing activities are not big. They say little is extraordinary in the way you do it. So when you train and empower somebody to do that with that passion, with compassion, somebody who sees suffering, understands it, and is willing to help, that is who a nurse is. Being there to do what the patient is unable to do, that is what the nurse is. Not only patients, but we want to use clients because it's not just about the sick ones lying there. There are people like you and I who have health needs. So the nurse provides the knowledge they need. The nurse motivates them to take action to stay healthy. The nurse provides information where it is needed. I don't know what will happen if there were to be a world without nurses. They do it all.
Yes, thank you very much. You've rightly said the nurses do it all. And you've also said that when they get the right training, they are able to do it and do this compassionately and passionately. So, what does it take to train as a nurse? I know there are so many people who may think that it needs a lot of training, it needs a lot of money before they can become a nurse. Can you enlighten the population, especially someone who says, okay, tomorrow I want to be like Ethel Dreader, to know what it takes to be a nurse, and a good one at that?
Okay. Nursing requires long years of training. To become a registered nurse in this country, you need at least 3 years of training after your advanced level. Whether you want to become a state registered nurse, you need 3 years of training in the sciences and in the art of nursing. If you want to hold a state diploma in nursing, you need 3 years of training in the art and science of nursing. You want to do a bachelor's degree, it's about 4 years of training. You want to do a master's degree, it's about 2 years after your 4 year training or in bachelor's. You want to do a PhD, it is after your master's degree. We train nurses up to PhD level in Cameroon. And the trainings have to be in recognized institutions because
Yes,
people have turned into nursing education as a money making thing,
venture, that's
a
true.
money making venture. So you want to be sure that you are going in into a state acclaimed or a state credited school to be trained as a nurse. And state acclaimed schools meet the requirements. They have they do nurse educators, those with the skills. Then we have linkage programs. There are some people in the years past, they could only do SRN. But now universities have made it in such a way that if you do that SRN for 3 years, you have what we call a kind of a catch-up program that you do a year to transition to have a BNS, and then it follows suit. So you need at least 3 years of training in an accredited school to become a registered nurse. However, we have nurse assistants who assist nurses in the work they do. The state trains them for about 9 months to a year and certify them to assist registered nurses. So they're like nurse assistants. They are not full-fledged nurses. And then we also have other cadre of staff that are trained, especially within the CBORD, the CBC health services in service to give them the competencies they need to give care that is safe and acceptable to clients as they assist nurses in their work.
Thank you very much. And I'm also glad to hear that you can train as a nurse now right to the PhD level. Just to let us know that she's actually doing PhD, even as she's a nurse. So that is very possible in Cameroon. And within the CBC Health Services, we strive to have excellence in all our departments at all levels. Coming back to you, Blessing, she's talked now about training. You can train to any level in Cameroon. You can work in Cameroon. What are the opportunities for nurses in Cameroon who really train well? Because if you look at statistics, which I may not know exactly how they are, you realize that many people who train to a certain level, especially in the healthcare department, in Africa, not just Cameroon, in Africa, at the end of the day, they are taken up by different countries. What accounts to this? What makes, let's get back only to nurses, to leave Cameroon to go to other countries? How can Cameroon make it better?
Well, we feel that Cameroon can really make it better. First, we want to begin with the nurses. As a nurse, you are officially trained and you recognized and you are licensed. You are given a license. And it doesn't just end at that. You need to prove to your community that you have something to offer.
Yes.
You need to prove to your community that you are available for them. You feel for them. And once we have a nurse of this caliber, whatever, there will be something for you. Because we know that we have limited opportunities, but those who stand tall, there are opportunities flooding around them. So what we are encouraging nurses is that when you go for training, you have gone for training to come back and save lives. You are not coming back to work with papers. Once you prove to the community that you are available, and you have something to offer, you have an opportunity. That notwithstanding, those opportunities are limited, and that has caused most of our nurses to be moving. Sometimes they feel like it is greener on the other side, but what we are really clamoring for is that Cameroon, they are doing their best, but we hope that they can do better in order to retain our nurses. We have a kind of brain drain. We have nurses who are competent, that you think that they can deliver the goods that the community needs, but they seem to see that things are maybe not organized the way they are elsewhere. Nurses are not well paid the way it is done elsewhere, and so they feel like we should have it somewhere. But I think that we are doing our best, and we can do better in order to retain these nurses. There are opportunities, and you just need to prove that you are capable and you see them.
Thank you very much. You've rightly said there are opportunities. One thing I would like you to clarify on is to tell us, do nurses only serve in hospitals? So what else, where else can nurses serve?
We have
And sorry, it's not like I'm interrupting you. It's just to bring the 2 points. And also, do you know the patient nurses ratio in Cameroon? If you say actually we have so many nurses that are trained, what is the ratio? Because I know that if we talk about doctors, especially in the healthcare, there is such a big gap between the doctors and the patients, and the ratio is so high. So many patients to one doctor. What's the ratio for nurses, if I be asked?
Okay, I would like to start with the first question about the opportunities that exist.
Mhm.
When a nurse can function in a wide variety of dimensions, there are hospitals, there are schools, and there is the community at large.
Yes.
Yeah, you can be a nurse and you are a community health nurse. You are able to
It even starts from your family.
It starts from your family.
Yes.
First, it is your family that they say that charity begins at home.
Exactly.
Whoever has a nurse in his or her family feels the impact. So it starts right from there, thank you. And then it emanates to your community.
Exactly.
Then to the schools, to churches, to hospitals. And so all of these areas that I've enumerated, maybe I have not named all, nurses have quite a lot to offer.
Yes.
Yeah. We have community clinics. We have non-governmental organizations who are clamoring for nurses. We have some churches who just need their nurses to stand up for them, to help them. And there are many opportunities for nurses to act. And to say that the patient nurse ratio in Cameroon, the gap is really, really high.
It's wide, yes.
Because of the brain drain I just talked about.
Exactly.
We might not be able to say exact figures, but approximately 0.0% of nurses can be available for about 1,000 patients.
Yes.
Yeah, the gap is really wide. Though we cannot give exact figures, but the gap is really wide.
Thank you very much. I'll be turning back to Etheldreda now. And as we are talking about the International Nurses Day, we know that different countries commemorate this day in different ways. Different organizations have different activities to celebrate this day. I'd like us now to come back to the Cameroon Baptist Convention Health Services. And for your information, the Cameroon Baptist Convention Health Services is the second healthcare provider in Cameroon after the government of Cameroon. Can you tell us the number of nurses that we have out of the more than 6,000 workers that the CBC Health Services has? What is the number of nurses that we have? So we have an idea as to how many nurses are celebrating just within the CBC Health Services today, and what activities are they engaged in?
I wouldn't have exact figures, but I think over 4,000 of the 6,000 staff
Yes.
within the CBC Health Board would be nurses in different cadres.
Yes.
And this day is special for the CBC Health Services because I've been working with the Health Board for about 15 years. This is the first of its kind. I leave Mutengene to come to Bamenda to
Yes.
celebrate Nurses
Yes.
Day. So it tells you that CBC is doing a lot. We are here as delegates from over
different facilities of the CBC
from
also.
different regions. It's like a tap on the back of the nurses. The Health Board, the recognition they are giving us is like a tap on our back. It is, we are having a radio talk. The world is getting to hear, Bamenda, Cameroon, and the world at large, they are getting to hear that there are nurses in the health board who are moving mountains. That is a lot that the health board is doing. We are in our different hospitals, we are celebrating the Nurses Day in different ways. Some of us have gone to schools to sensitize, to encourage more children to become nurses, especially the males, because there's a traditional belief that it's a woman's job. We need the men, and we've gone out to schools to sensitize. We had a walk this morning to let the world know that the nurses stand out, and a lot is being done. We are really thankful to the CBC for how much they have lifted us this far. But like Oliver Twist,
You always have to ask for
keep
more.
asking for more.
So the nurses are asking for more. But before we know exactly what the nurses are asking for, we are going to have an interlude. And in this interlude, we shall be listening to the voices of some of the nurses that we met this morning to tell us exactly why they, as individuals, are celebrating the International Nurses Day today. We'll be coming back to you after that.
My name is Priscilla. I've been serving as a nurse in 1996, and I'm presently a supervisor of nursing services for Mobile Baptist Hospital. As a nurse, I'm so happy and I'm so proud to celebrate this day because as a nurse, I'm aware of my health, and then I'm aware of the health of my family and the world at large. I celebrate this day with a lot of pride because of the patients that I've nursed, because of the care I've given to them, and also because of those who have been well. I celebrate it also because I'm able to care for those who are disabled, those who are dying, and I journey with them even to the mortuary. I'm so happy because each time I'm with my patients, they are getting well, they are happy, and I find joy every day when I'm on duty.
Thank you very much. That is the joy of being a nurse.
I'm Jato Alex, nurse, and I'm happy to celebrate this International Nursing Day. First, in appreciation to God for good health, provision, and sustenance, and the ability He has given me to work with others and also develop organization, and to encourage the young nurses that you can always leave a legacy as a nurse.
Thank you very much for that encouragement for young nurses to know that they can always leave a legacy as a nurse. It is a profession that you must do with passion.
For Bay Justin, a nurse midwife. I have been serving as a nurse midwife since 1981, and I am celebrating today because I am happy. I'm happy because of the opportunity I've had to serve in affecting lives. The number of babies I have received in the delivery room are over 300. And the young nurses I have helped to mentor, to bring them up to serve skillfully are countless. And I'm also serving in an organization that places a lot of value on human life. So this day, I am happy to say that I'm a nurse, and I'm also happy to join with my colleagues and share the love, share the joy that we have together. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can I know who you are and tell me what you are celebrating today?
Okay, I'm Dom Etelbradabu. I'm a nurse practitioner. I've been working for 15 years as a nurse, and today is the International Nurses Day, and I celebrate the successes
I celebrate myself, the value I'm adding to society. I celebrate the fact that I was empowered to be able to touch lives. I celebrate because I want people to know the value nurses have in this country and in the world at large. I celebrate because I feel like nurses are devalued, they're underpaid. So I want to pay myself by celebrating me. So it's a happy Nurses Day to all the nurses and to me most especially. Thank you.
Okay, I'm Promise Osimbi Kata. I'm a nurse. I've been working as a nurse since 1996. I'm celebrating and joyfully celebrating because there has been a lot of advancement in nursing. When I think of the history of nursing, when it started, Florence Nightingale, and how it has become so advanced now, I can just always celebrate. Also celebrate because I've seen lots of people come to me in agony and go home with a nice smile, and that is my great joy. And I'm hoping that the nursing of the future will be far better than what it is now because I'm working so hard to see it better. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You are with the program Health and Beyond Health, and today we are talking nursing. That is why you see so many nurses and you can hear them talk even on the radio today. The International Nurses Day today, and we have 5 women in the studio. I would imagine somebody would say there is some gender imbalance in the studio here, but I am comforted because we've just listened to that clip and we had about 3 male nurses. And coming back to the studio now, we already listened to Ethel, Dreda, and Blessing. And right now, we have Madame Winifred. She is a nurse, she's a screener. We also have Mrs. Domnasa Emerencia, who is the supervisor of nursing services for the CBC Health Services in Queen Baptist Hospital. Good morning, Madame Winifred, and welcome.
Thank you.
And you have to tell me, just listened to your colleagues talk. What can you say about that? They have made us to understand that they enjoy their profession just so much. Is that a situation with all the nurses? And also tell us about your own situation. Why are you celebrating today?
Oh, I think from what everyone has verbalized, we have this satisfaction taking care of people who come to us in need.
Yes.
And this satisfaction comes when you are empathetic, when you see the client sitting in front of you, be it the patient or someone who is sick or someone who just came to maybe seek advice, who falls under the category of a client.
Yes.
You have to fit into the person's shoe first. And when you do that, you'll be able to attend to the person and give all what you can offer to the person. I mean, to make the person feel comfortable, even if you're not solving their problems, at least they go back knowing that they came and met a nurse, not just someone who wants to make money, but they met someone who can actually meet their needs. Working as a nurse since 2006, in my personal experience, it's so fulfilling. It's quite fulfilling because it's not how much we are paid, but just the fact that someone comes to you in need and you give what you have.
Is the gratification you get at the end of the day by serving another person.
Exactly.
Yes.
And then when they are coming back for their review and tell you, oh, madam, I'm feeling okay, thank you. It's so much fulfillment. So I think it's a profession it's to belong to.
Encourage other people to belong, become nurses, and serve the world. And from all those who have talked today, majority of them, they have served for more than a decade. That tells us that we have so many dedicated nurses, and especially within the CBC Health Services, who are doing their best to render health care services. Now, we are turning over to Madame Emerencia. And at this juncture, she will be telling us something about the theme of this year, which is Our Nurses, Our Future. She will also be telling us about the launching of the CBC Health Services chapter of the Nurses Association today. So, good morning. Welcome once again. She's always been one of our guests in this program.
Thank you, Sister Clementine. Yeah, the theme of this year, our nurse is our future, is the theme that was chosen by the International Council of Nurses.
Yes.
And the theme of this year indicates that by encouraging people to take up the nursing profession means you are investing in healthcare and the future itself. And this goes a long way to strengthen the health system of the world. Our nurses, our future as a theme says, will be a global slogan, a global campaign that will help to outline what we want for nurses in the future, so as to help address the global health challenges and to enhance healthcare worldwide. So this theme, our future, our nurses, is a slogan that will keep saying and reciting to remind us that the future lies in the hands of nurses.
And you've just said something that what we want for our nurses in the future. If you were asked to really enumerate maybe the three main things that you, as a supervisor of nursing services, would want for nurses, not just within the CBC Health Services, but for nurses in Cameroon and the world at large, what would that be? Because I remember Theldreda, before she left, she just said she is appreciating the CBC Health Services and Cameroon for everything that is done to nurses. But like Oliver Twist, they may always want to ask for more.
Yeah, what I really want, like the CBC Health Services, to offer for nurses who really want them to stand by us. They have been standing by the nurses, but we
Yes.
need more, as my colleague rightly said. We need the help or to help nurses showcase their talents, showcase what we have, because we are professionals, we are researchers, so that they can help us network with other nurses in other countries to see how they do about. We know nursing is evolving, and when you are just stagnant, you don't network, you will not really know how the nursing profession is being done in other countries. So that's our cry. And back to us nurses, we have our core values that I will really plead that we should not go out of our core values, our ethics. We should walk in line with our ethics.
Can you mention these core values?
Yeah, our core values, we are empathetic, we are accountable. It means you are accountable for what you do.
Yes.
You are a professional.
Yeah.
Yes, your autonomy.
Mm-hmm.
You take responsibility for what you do.
Yes.
You are curious.
Yes.
To go closer to that patient to see how you can give a helping hand to that patient in need. Altruism, meaning you are selfless. You have that selfless concern for the well-being of others.
Yes.
Yes, you offer yourself to help others. So
is there patience in it? Because I see a lot of patience in your profession.
There is a lot of patience. You need to be patient with the patients that come to us.
Yeah.
If not, you easily flare off. So
exactly.
We need to really be patient. And we pray that God Almighty shall help us. Give us the grace, because it takes just God's grace.
And we trust that there are so many opportunities, even online, that nurses also are exploiting. As you say, it's good to also liaise with other nurses out of Cameroon to use those online opportunities and resources and get updated, get training, and also for the institutions to make sure that they improve on their nurses. Now, the launching of the Nurses Association. Tell us the launching of the CBC Health Services of this chapter. Why are they launching it now, and what is it all about? How is it going to help the nurses to realize this, our future, our nurses, our future?
Thank you, Sister Clementine, for that marvelous question. The launching of the CBC Health Services chapter of the Nurses Association, it was a thought that came up that it will be good. We are one.
Yes.
We speak like one.
Yes.
Because the CBC has hospitals in almost all the 10 regions
of Cameroon.
And if we don't come like one, we'll be divided. So we thought it wise to come up with a chapter under the Cameroon Nurses Association so that we have a body that we speak the same language. If we are doing a procedure, we know that it's the same procedure that is being carried out in all our health facilities in the country. If it's a nursing care plan that we are following, the nursing process is same. If you live here and you go to Yaoundé and you're hospitalized in one of the hospitals, the same care that you have in Bamenda is the same care that you have in Yaoundé. So that's basically the essence of this association. It's a chapter in the Cameroon Nurses Association. So that if we even have like the conference that usually comes up once a year, we go like a delegation from the CBC Health Services.
Okay. So you just want to make sure that you are one, under one umbrella, and you function even with the support of other organizations that work in favor of nurses, both national and international. There is a lot that we would have loved to talk about nurses and the International Nurses Day today, but for want of time, remember, this program will always be bringing our guests who are always readily available to talk about the nurses, to talk about healthcare and the services that are available for people to enjoy. We wish to thank you very much for being part of this program today. But before we go, we want to tell you out there that today and even after today, use this opportunity to thank a nurse you know for their hard work and dedication. All of us have received a service or services of a nurse. And if you are a student, try as much as possible to volunteer your time at a local hospital or clinic. There is a lot of needs for your services. Try to educate yourself too about challenges that nurses face, because sometimes when we visit the hospitals, we know the first impression is always very important, and nurses do their best to give you the best first impression. But we as individuals too, we need to know about the challenges that they as individuals too face so that we don't give them a hard time when we visit our hospitals. Today, and after today, also try as much as possible to use the social media to raise awareness about International Nurses Day. All of us are involved, not just the nurses. Why not donate? If you can donate, donate to help an organization, donate to help a charity that can improve the work of nurses, not just within the CBC Health Services, in Cameroon, in Africa, and the world at large. So that is where we are going to be drawing the curtains for today's edition of the program, Health and Beyond Health, on CBC Radio, production of the CBC Health Services Communication Unit. My name is Clementina Njang-Yong. You've seen the nurses that we had here today. You've listened to their voices, their beautiful information that they had to share with us today. And they are going to go back to continue with their celebrations. We take this moment to say thank you to Efficient, who is our sound engineer today. And to say thank you to Sonjo Divine, who is our videographer this morning. Have a blessed day and have a great celebration. Bye.
An epitome of humility in service. We are specially ordained for this vocation. Yes, I'm proud to be a nurse. Nurses are great. Nurses are caring. An epitome of humility in service. We are specially ordained